everyone, it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of a new series called ATC Tuesday. And this is the artist trading card that we're going to create today. The inspiration was from a hop I did a little while ago. I believe it was from Team Tiny. So here's the inspiration piece. And I went through my stamp sets and found a bunch of Kindred Stamps ones that I've never used before. So I thought, let's do a series for these. So what are artist trading cards? They are papers that measure 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and you can put them into those little baseball card pockets, which is my plan for this one. And I'm going to be creating one for each month. The pockets that I have are 9, 3 across and 3 down. So what I'm going to do is actually do 6 on each side, and then the centerpieces, I'm going to do some artwork with the months on it. So there's going to be one for each month, and then so January and February will be on the top left and right, and the center it'll say January and February. So I'm going to do some artwork on that, and I probably will do I'll probably videotape that as well. So for this artist trading card, we use Kindred Stamps Bubble Bath Day set. I stamped it down in Lawn Fawn jet black ink, stamped it again on a scrap piece of paper and created a mask. And then we're going to use this, a Colorful Life design stencil. So this one is smaller. It's a herringbone one, and I haven't really used these that much. I bought a ton of them from a Colorful Life Designs, which I love, and I thought this would look really cute as wallpaper in a bathroom. Well, I wanted to go with some really light colors in the back, and I was going to go with a gray, but then I did the bathtub in grays, so I decided against that, and I thought this lilac color would be really pretty. So this is Shaded Lilac Distress Oxide. You could use Distress Oxide, Distress Ink, you could use whatever you have, and I'm just going over all of the herringbone to ink it up. I was trying to stay away from the bubbles because they were a little bit too hard to mask. And because the stencil is narrow, I decided to put it only where the wallpaper would be and then mask it off using the ruler at the bottom so that it didn't go down too far and it would give me a straight line so that I could create the floor underneath the bathtub. So once I'm happy with the way that it looks, I am going to pull off the mask, and I love that. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I pull off the mask, I am going to put the floor in. So I decided to take a Pilot V5 pen and add in the wood floor. In my bathroom, in my room, I do have hardwood floors, so I decided to go ahead and use the pen to create some hardwood floors. So all I'm doing is drawing lines across, and the closer to you they get, I space them out a little bit more so that the planks would be a little bit more wide. After all the planks are drawn in, I'm going to go back in and freehand the line where the two planks would actually meet each other. So it's kind of like little spacing between the two of them. I don't have any rhyme or reason for how wide or how narrow I made them or short or long I made them. I just went ahead and drew lines wherever I thought they were necessary. And to be honest with you, in the final product, you really can't see these because I used some really dark colors on the places where the boards would butt up against each other. So it really doesn't even matter. You don't have to do this process. I just thought it helped me define where one plank started and one plank ended. So after that is all done, I'm going to go ahead and take the mask off. And this is one of my favorite parts anytime I do masking, is revealing it and seeing where the white image completely comes out. So now I'm going to color in the bathtub, and I'm just using a couple colors of C markers. I'm going to go back and forth. I tried to go with the Kelly Taylor method of color it mostly gray, and then when you put other things around it, it'll start to look really white. Mine maybe didn't come out so well. Maybe I probably needed to use some lighter markers. I don't really know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's like a real light gray tub. I was kind of going for more white. Maybe I should have left more white space on there. I don't know, but I do like the way that it came out. So while you're watching me doing some Copic coloring, because it's just really basic, I wanted to do a little bit of story time. So now I'm back at work, and I was on a conference call with my boss today, and the second that I hung up, my cell phone rings, and it's my neighbor. She very rarely calls me, but she told me, do me a favor, go outside. Now it's freezing outside, and I really don't want to do it, but I'm like, all right, fine. I open the front door, and all I can hear is hissing. And she's like, do you hear that noise? I said, yeah. So the house that's in between mine and hers, the meter was hissing. It sounded like a bunch of air was escaping. And every once in a while, they will sound like that. But this was so loud. I mean, I heard it the second that I opened the door. I wasn't even outside yet, and I could hear it. And the meter or whatever it was is on her side, not on my side of this guy's house. So I go out, I go check it out, make sure it's his and not mine. So I'm standing in his driveway, and then I'm walking up to his front door. Now I realize he's got a Ring camera. So I'm talking loudly so that the Ring camera can pick up what I'm doing or why I'm out there, because I've met this guy twice, I think. I've spoken to him once, and I've talked to his girlfriend one time who doesn't live there. And he probably thinks that she and I are super crazy. So then I go over to her house because she's not home. She was picking up her daughter. And I check hers, and I can't find it. It must be on the side of the house. So I come back into mine. And as I'm going back into my driveway, he actually pulls in. Now, like I said, I've only seen him twice. So I'm standing there waiting for him to get off the phone because I can hear that he's on the phone. He's got tinted windows, so I could hear that he's on the phone. And he gets out of his car, and he's clearly still on the phone. And he says, are you waiting to ask me a question that I don't have an answer to? I said, no, I just wanted to let you know that we're hearing this hissing sound. So he goes up and checks it out. Nothing. It's radio silent. And then I'm like, look, I'm not crazy. I'm on the phone with Donna. She and her daughter both heard it. So meanwhile, he was on the phone with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend says, oh, I heard it yesterday. But she didn't tell anybody, so we're like, okay, well, that's great. So anyway, he ends up calling the gas company, which in turn brings the fire department and the police department out. The police were absolutely annoyed that they had to be out here. They were actually at the other end of the development, just sitting there blocking the road off. And then the fire trucks come in. So I decide to go outside and just check my mail and just see how they're doing. So I'm walking up, and the fireman just starts talking to me like we know each other. And I'm thinking, do we? Because my old coworker's husband was in the fire department, and I've met a bunch of the firemen through him. And I'm thinking, am I supposed to know this guy? Does he know me? Does he remember me? I'm like, who is this guy? Turns out he wasn't. He was just a super friendly fireman, and he was asking me what happened, what I heard, when I heard it. And then he said that he checked it out with the machine that he has, and he doesn't think that there's anything wrong with the gas companies on their way. So when I came back from getting the mail, and talking to my cousin who lives down the street, and then the woman that lives across the street from her, they were outside checking everything out. So I was telling them what happened, came back, and by that time, the gas company was already there. They were checking it out. And he said he didn't think there was anything wrong with it. There was a small leak in mine, which wouldn't let gas out, and it wouldn't cause that noise. So he fixed whatever it was. He put the foam or whatever it is. I have no idea what he was talking about. Put that back in there, and he said everything should be fine. He was going to dig around in a couple of places at my next door neighbor's house as well as mine, just to make sure that there was nothing. But clearly he didn't find anything because he didn't knock on the door again. But that was my excitement for the day. I also thought that it was Tuesday, so I was very disappointed when I later on learned that it was only Monday, and this all happened in one day. I was really hoping that it was much later in the week. So a little bit of a crazy, crazy day today with that in there, but got a lot of work done in spite of the excitement that happened. So let's go back to the ATC now, and I am just coloring in the feet on the bathtub, a little bit of a darker gray, and I'm going to go back in and start coloring in the floor. This is where I pick up some of the darker browns versus the browns that I used for her hair. My floor upstairs in my bathroom is a couple different colors of brown, so it kind of matches a lot of different flooring. I have dark, real hardwood floors on the second floor, and they match pretty well with that because they pull out the darker colors in there, but it's not like I tried to match it and didn't. So I wanted them to complement each other, not try to be an exact match. So this is kind of the way I usually color my floors. If you saw the way I did the hair, I tried to do some flicking motion so that I would get some of the lines that would mimic the strands of hair in there. I'm not great at it. I'm still practicing. I know that there are a lot of other people that you could learn from, so I don't suggest that you learn from me. I just kind of do what I think looks right, and I kind of forget some of the techniques that I've learned throughout the years and just kind of color. So you can see I'm just finishing coloring in the floor. This is pretty much the color that I'm going to use for to color everything in. So once this is all done, I used my white gel pen to add some highlights. I put the dots on her cheeks like I normally do, and then I added some highlights to the tub, and then that's pretty much the ATC. So I'm really enjoying doing these ATCs. They're smaller. They do take a lot of time, though, if you put a lot of detail into them. I also think that I might do, if I do this series like every other week, I may also do a Disney one. So I might do like a Kindred Stamps. They have like days of, so this was like a bubble bath day. So they have those kind of stamps that I didn't use. They have a beer drinking day, things like that. And then I have a bunch of Disney ones that I haven't used. So I might do 2 ATC series, kind of go back and forth between them. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments below. Do you like doing ATCs? Do you like this new series? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys real soon for another video. Bye!